Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Let's Talk Show. I'm Jack, and tonight's conversation is real, raw, and rooted in purpose. As we close out Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm joined by two very special guests. First, NFL wide receiver DJ Chark, who's been vocal about mental health and resilience in pro sports. And second, his sister, Deidra, who's the project manager. I'm going to go ahead and promote her to executive director. And behind his upcoming football camp here in Alexandria. Also in this football camp is going to be a big topic of health and human services. That camp is happening June the 27th at Alexandria Senior High, Ash. Registration, the program is going to run from 3 to 7. Deidra going to make sure she give us all of the details as we go through this show tonight. So welcome, you guys. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Can't speak for Deidra, but doing pretty well.
All right. We definitely want to welcome you guys back to the show this evening.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. DJ, let's start with the heart behind this camp. Why bring it home, and why health and human services this time around has been a big focus?
I always really want to bring things to Alexandria and help in any way I can. With my career, with career and family, I've been all over the place the last few years. And last year, my first time being able to do a camp, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great turnout. And I remember us having this conversation last year. And this year, I kind of want to don't get me wrong, I love sports and I love, coaching, helping kids get better athletically, but I felt a calling to do much more, and mental health is huge for me. So being able to, it's being more spoke about in the last few years. So just to try to help, that cause and, bring it to Alexandria, where me and Deidra was able to, after we did some research, find out there are many resources, right there in Alexandria, as well as just throughout Louisiana. But it's not as advertised for whatever reason, that we're not coming in contact with it as, just everyday citizens. So if I can bring something to Alexandria where we can do sports and have a great time in the community, while also being able to put these people in position to connect with people, because you never know who needs it. I thought that would be a great opportunity, and I decided to do that. And I had some help from obviously Deidra, and I talked to a few people, at LSU that's big in that space as well, to, kind of navigate me with my thoughts. And so now I'm excited to be able to do this next month. And, who knows who it helps or who it saves. That's the biggest thing that I want to do. It doesn't matter if it's one person or 200 people. Like, every life matter, everybody thoughts matter, everybody matters. So that's really my goal and focus.
Well, DJ, just to follow up on your statement there, this month we've been talking about mental health as well. I've had the opportunity to speak with some of our Greek letter organizations that were doing various mental health programs over the month. In particular, I had an opportunity to speak with Dr. Uh, Woods Smith, and she talked about the whole across the mental health across the spectrum. And one of the things she, that was extremely alarming across the country, and in particularly here, right here in Alexandria, was suicides, and I'll also say particularly around young Black men, and we talked about some of the alarming numbers, in that realm. So, bro, all I can do is say I truly appreciate you stepping out there and having this deep conversation. And you remember, we had already said we were going to have this conversation, DJ. Uh,
Yeah.
you remember back to last year. Um, cool. So, Deidra, if you could, for those interested in the camp itself, if you could chime in and let us know a little bit about what's what's all of the behind the scenes things that you're doing and all that kind of good logistics type work that you're doing. Tell us about what's going on there.
So this year for the camp, not we, DJ, he's kind of decided that he wants to give that focus of mental health and just kind of health awareness. So the goal was to reach out to a local organization that provide mental health support. So we are partnered with Caring Choices
Hmm.
in Alexandria, and they are helping us kind of spearhead this project. They provide mental health resources and other resources to adults and children, and they have satellite sites all over, not just in Alexandria, but in other areas that they provide services to. So, with their help, we've been able to kind of snag about 25 local organizations that provide services from mental health to we're trying to provide free physicals. So that's something that we're working toward getting set up, having them come out there and do physicals for the kids who are needing that for the upcoming school year. That's super important with health and wellness. We're also getting the city of Alexandria involved to be out there to support us as well. We're getting agencies to come out, like a crisis management team
Hmm.
who's going to be out there to support and provide. There's actually an organization that provides help to fathers who are looking for jobs.
Okay.
So, there's so many different aspects when it comes to health and children and health and wellness. Like, we want the parents to feel supported this year as well, in addition to the children. So, at the registration will start at 2, and
Hmm.
then at 3 o'clock we have a really good segment that we're gonna jump off with for the kids, and kind of let DJ pour into the kids and talk to them, and kind of let them know how he's been able to kind of navigate, and other people who can speak to those things as well. At 4 o'clock, we'll start some activities for the campers, all of that running and jumping. And last year we did a really good like receiver workout for the kids, where DJ was calling the routes and they were out there running. We'll have their camp duties all structured out at that time. And at 6 o'clock, we'll start with our awards. We do awards every year just because we want the kids to feel the value of what they've done. And, it doesn't go unnoticed. And the awards are not all based on physical fitness. There's awards for personalities and, sportsmanship. And there's so many other things that should be rewarded, not just the fitness side of it. And after that, we provide food and all those different things for the kids, and we're partnering with vendors for that. We're working with um, D&T Kitchen, who will be out there as well. We're going to have some organizations provide money management and literacy who will be out there. And so for the parents, last year, some of them dropped them off and others stayed the entire time. We're encouraging them to stay this year. We are encouraging them to come out and be a part of what we're doing, because we want to make a bigger impact than just for the kids. So there'll be 25 or so booths that the parents can go visit and get information. We're talking about housing assistance, rental assistance, light bill assistance. We're talking about all the things that go into when the kid feels supported,
Hmm.
and help the parent help them feel supported. Will be out there. There's gonna be bouncy houses for the little kids. So if the parents have little ones who are not at that age yet to where they can participate, we'll have bounty houses and games and stuff like that provided for them to keep them kind of occupied.
Mm-hmm.
As the parents go around, they'll be getting stamps and things on a little card, and at the end we're going to raffle off a gift basket to those parents who took the time and actually went through the exercise to get the information and the resources.
So it's going to be almost a fair going on in many ways.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty
Right.
much.
So now this time when the parents come out there, they can drop the kids off and the kids going to go do their thing. But hey, parents, here's some resources for you just in case
Yes.
you need them. Okay. All right. Wow. And oh, how much is it going to cost for this program?
It's free 99.
$3.99.
So it's gonna be free to the community.
Mhm.
We believe that a part of giving back is being able to provide the resources, whether you have the money to pay for it or not.
Mhm.
Everything that they're going to be getting out there is going to be free. At the end of the camp, we're also going to give away backpacks and non-perishable food items and
Mhm.
just so many other things. Gift cards for school clothes will go to, some kids will earn those. And there's so many other things that we want to be able to provide. And the community has really pulled together too to kind of help support giving away a lot of this stuff for free, making partnerships with different people in the community. And we'll definitely list those organizations as well coming up to the camp.
Okay, cool. DJ, you've been open about struggling with anxiety and depression, and while you were in college down at LSU, what gave you the strength to get help, man? And what would you tell others in that same place that you were in?
Really, is when I was at LSU, I've come across some really genuine people that was able to help point me in the right direction, show me uh, better ways or outlets to help me out mentally, uh, by just being able to see me day to day and realize, hey, maybe something's wrong. Coming from Alexandria, going to Baton Rouge, playing for a school like LSU, which is one of the top schools year in year out, producing NFL talent, things like that. Like it's more stress than you would think it would be, and to be 17, leaving my parents, not really having, I had a good support system in my parents, but it wasn't like many people who was in my circle. So being able to meet some really good people at LSU, they was able to point me in the right direction, give me a name for what I was feeling, and help me troubleshoot my ideas and thoughts. I think that was huge for me, and it wasn't just smooth sailing once I got the name and figured it out and started going down that path, but being able to see the difference was night and day for me, and I felt like it's my duty, you know, my God given duty. Like I need to be able to help other people who's feeling that, uh, who might not know the name for it or anything like that. Definitely at the time, like 2014, when that was going on for me. So as I got older and did more, I became more confident in myself from a perspective of being able to speak out on my life and owning up to my life and ownership in that. And so now I feel way more free to, speak on it. Not saying that it ever leaves. I'm not going to say just win the battle of mental health, because every day is a new day that presents new challenges and things. So, but always, you know, being proactive with it. So that was really what helped me and drove me to do more, help more, and the impact that I've been able to make when I do like maybe a commercial or something and someone sees it, whether
Mhm.
it's then or a year later, and reach out and like thank you for that. It's not really many feelings that you can compare that to, and it's a really good one. So just wanted to keep going, and we all deal with it. Some people deal with it better than others, but at the end of the day, it's still present in all of our lives. So being an advocate for it, I mean, it was kind of a no brainer for me.
Yeah, and and after COVID, one of the things we quickly realized, and now in the mental health spaces, is that we're treating it more of not like a stigma so much now. It's being treated just like it's a, I got a cold, I got the flu,
Yeah.
and here's the antidote, or here's the med that I need to take for this particular condition, and that's a good thing. There's a culture in the sports and in life in general that says tough it out. How do you respond to the young men who feel like asking for help makes them weak?
Yeah, I don't think asking for help, makes you weak at all. I do understand tough it out to an certain extent.
Mhm.
Like some injuries you might, you know, toughen out, or whatever the circumstance. Sometimes you have to stand up as a man or as a woman and take ownership of that situation. So in those ways, I understand. But I think we use that term, as a cookie cutter term to just take care of everything. And some
Mhm.
things you need help, mentally. You can't really you can't really toughen out some things. Like if you're feeling a certain way, it's okay to maybe toughen it out is going to get help and going to figure out what's going on. And that gives you the strength and the resources to toughen that out. Like
Mhm.
life isn't easy at all. We all, they always say, if we put all our problems in a bucket and then you pull one, you'll probably want your problems back, because you look at someone else and you think, I want their problems, or they living great, and then behind closed doors, maybe they're not dealing with what you're dealing with,
Mhm.
but whatever they're dealing with might make them feel the same way that you feel. So yeah, I truly feel like as an athlete, there are some things specifically in athletics that you have to like, I'm not feeling it today. I don't want to get up today, and I have to, like, I'm required to go work today. I'm required to go do this.
Mhm.
But uh, the term toughen it out. It's so many different ways you can look at it. It's perspective and narrative. So for those people, I say, yeah, keep that mentality of like, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna persevere. But
Mhm.
also, if you're not feeling well, mentally, there's, you feel like something's off, then take that time to reach out, find some resources, and whether it's rest or just therapy or talking to somebody for an outlet, or maybe it is medication, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it'll probably make you 10 times better than where you're at now. And then you can take on those challenges that you're going through with a whole different perspective.
And how has fatherhood changed your view on mental health?
A lot.
A lot.
There's there's no book. Well, there are books actually that might help you, but there's no exactly right or wrong way, to be a parent, and you don't know what parenthood is like until you experience it. I know for a fact that was, me in college, and I see Deidra, who when she had Cheyenne, her daughter,
Mhm.
maybe she interacted with her in a way, and I could look at it and say, if I was a parent, I wouldn't do that, or maybe I do it this way or I do it that way. And then you have a kid and you find yourself doing it the exact same way that that person did it, maybe because you just didn't understand where that person was coming from. And I truly believe that, parenthood has taught me so much. It made me care more. Uh, it made me a better, father, protector, husband. Anybody that have kids and marry knows challenges with that. And speaking from my perspective, a man perspective, like you have to be able to stand up and be that father for your kids. I was blessed to have my father in my life,
Mhm.
and my mother. So I want to be that for my kids too. And I understand a lot of kids, a lot of people didn't have that opportunity. So when you get that opportunity, I encourage everyone to take that. chance to be the best you can. And it's not about specifically your kids, maybe it's your grandkids, putting your kids in a position to where they can be better for their kids, which, break generational curses and things like that. So yeah, parenthood has been huge for me. My mentality, the way that I attack things, the way that I accept things. So yeah, shout out to all the parents.
All right. What helps you today maintain your peace? Therapy time, or is it therapy time with family, or is it mindset, or all of the above?
Man, that's a lot of different things that I do, like
uh,
therapy. Sometimes I'm not as active as I should be,
mhm.
but therapy definitely helps. Um, Meds for me help. Also, religion, praying. Like sometimes therapy doesn't work and the meds doesn't work and all these things, and you feel like you're at rock bottom. But one thing that always worked for me is religion, because I truly believe that God has me. So like no matter whatever obstacles I might face, even if I see it as a failure at the time, I know that everything's happened for a reason. When I go through tough times, I know that God is bringing me through something. Like He's protecting me, He's bringing me to something. And every time
Mhm.
I've come on the other side, and I can say that I won because I'm still standing and I'm still going. And, so that's huge for me. Divine providence is very dear to me. So I do a lot of different things.
Mhm.
Just taking a break. Taking a break helps. Like some people, don't have the time to take a break. But I realize there's times in the day where, you know, I'm driving to, I don't know, to the store and I'm listening to music just because that's naturally what I do, and take some time to let me switch this to a positive podcast or some motivational speeches, because whatever you put in your mind or you listen to, or that plays a big part. And if nothing's positive going into your mind, if you're not coming across positive things, it's going to be hard to be positive. So it's so many different things. I can't say I have a specific recipe, but you
Mhm.
know, it everybody is different, and that works for me.
And we're all different, but you know what, we can identify, you know whatever it is that's impacting us and what it is in you. It may not be exactly the same, but the idea of listening to you talk about these things, DJ, hopefully it's going to get out there and help some of the younger brothers here in the community, because it's sports in your case and being at the top of your game, but it's just surviving in Alexandria sometimes.
Nah, 100%, 100%.
And just to know that listening to you talk through this stuff, we want to hope that it's going to help one of those young football players that's out there, female basketball players, just somebody be able to navigate this thing called life.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna switch away from the and we're gonna go for Damon's sake. We're gonna go talk about the professional football career over here. So
Yeah.
he prepared a couple of these questions here for me. He said you played for a few teams now,
Hmm.
and fans, we might say it's the NFL. You go where the money is. But how does moving the teams and city in different cities affect you and your family mentally when you move around?
It's tough. You definitely, when you're in that profession, you're definitely, for me, my mindset has switched so many different times.
Mhm.
One year you be like, I want this, I want that, and then 12 months later, you don't really want that anymore. For me, you know, I had a goal, like a monetary goal, coming out of college that I wanted,
Mhm.
and I have to also, state that my first 2 years of college, I didn't even really play. So there was a point going into my junior year where it was like, forget football, I just want my degree. Then a year later, I'm playing. It's like, okay, forget the NFL. I just want to keep playing in college and enjoy this experience. Then you do that, and it's like, okay, now I want to get drafted. You get drafted, and every year it changes. And for me, I was blessed enough to hit, Pro Bowl in year 2. So it's like, okay, now every year I want to hit Pro Bowl. And then you realize there are things called injuries, and NFL is a business. And so then there was a point in my life where it was just chasing the next, big opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But then family come into play, and I can truly say that changed my whole perception of football and a lot of things. And the last few years, it stopped being about money and stats and became I always said I wanted to have kids and them to see me play football so that they know daddy played football, not me tell them I played football. They can recall, oh, daddy actually did this, or I was there. And my daughter is 4, and she's lived in like 4 or 5 different states. And so she's got the ultimate football experience, and my son as well. So, but yeah, at this point, my mind has shifted so much to, like I said, every goal that I set out to do in college, or like whether it was monetary or whether it was stats or a status, I've actually accomplished those things. And so now my goals aren't really football related. It's all family driven. It's all like not only just my intermediate family, but family and friends, and wanting to grow and build something that lasts for years after me, or being able to give a friend that I know opportunity when other people, when they might not be getting opportunity. So whether that's in business and things like that. So now, I'm trying to transition into being able to continue to provide for my family, provide for the people around me, while also bring things to others, which is why the camp was big to me.
Right.
I don't want to just doing a football camp every year is cool, but it doesn't really bring the excitement to me. Whereas if I'm doing football, but I'm also putting people in situations to where, hey, I'm a father looking for a job, and I took my kid to this camp, and then 2 weeks later, I have a job. That means more to me than, throwing the football around at this point. And I'm blessed. Like I said, I'm truly blessed to be able to be in that position. And like I said, a lot of therapy and mental exercises and things like that, and love and support has gotten me to that point. Trials and obstacles have also gotten me to that point. But yeah, it's truly a blessing. But I love the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself being around the game of football for years, whether it's actually playing or coaching or, ownership somewhere, things like that. So definitely trying to elevate and use all the football knowledge that I've acquired to, make bigger impacts and bigger waves.
Hey, Deidra, your brother growing up. That's what it sounds
I
like.
know. No longer little.
It's
No,
a,
he's
it's
not
a,
no DJ anymore.
He's medium-sized DJ
I mean,
now.
it's about time. I'm 28. If you was talking to me at 23, this conversation
Uh-huh.
is totally different. My motives would be totally different. But at 28, almost 30, it's time to set up things for 40, and then
Mhm.
in my 30s should be setting things up for 40 and 50. And
Right.
that's just how I view things.
Right. I mean, that's clearly evident of the evolution between this year's football camp and last year's football camp.
Yeah.
It takes wisdom to see those things and bring it. It takes wisdom, the leadership, and all that kind of good stuff. Getting you an executive director, project manager to Deidra, I'm gonna get you that job, all right?
She got it. Long as she says she wanted, she got it.
All right. I, I'm gonna switch over here to community. Uh, DJ, when you speak to young athletes, what's the biggest thing you want them to take away from this upcoming camp?
Maximizing potential and opportunities. Everybody's not presented the same opportunities, and it's not necessarily fair or not fair. Like, I can honestly say, I don't think I was the most talented player or just person in Alexandria or St. Louisiana, but I was presented opportunities and I made the most out of every opportunity that I had. And so for the youth, I tell them whatever opportunity you do get, just make the most of it and put your best foot forward, and it'd be better than not. And it's not always about talent. It's not always about uh, you know, the physical traits. It's really about when you get these opportunities, whether it's a big opportunity or a small opportunity, taking the same approach towards it. Something that an assistant coach told me in high school was he played D1 football at Tulane. I think he was a backup, but he said the biggest thing that he regretted was not having the conversations and meeting more people while he was there during his 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that to heart. And so when I went to college, I ate the AD, the training staff, whether it was, the coaches or a professor or whoever it was, if we came in contact, I gave my best impression and tried to be genuine and see where it got me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got me pretty far taking that approach, treating everybody with respect, treating everybody with the dignity that they deserve. And that's what I would tell a youth. Like, it's not, nothing's promised. The world, throw unexpected things at us all the time. But,
Mm-hmm.
making the most out of that opportunity, making the most, being the best person that you can be and let it come from a genuine place. And it'll get you far, whether it's in football or it's a job interview or whatever it is, it'll get you further than, doing the opposite of that.
This year I had an opportunity to, follow along Ash a little bit over there throughout the season, and we had a real good season this year.
Did.
Got an opportunity to meet JT and Darius Washington.
Yeah.
Two young men that I think are, really got their heads, you know, in the right place. What advice would you give to those two young men? Because they have a pretty good record. They
Yeah.
built a pretty good record in high school.
Uh, I would tell them keep going, be prepared for things not to go your way,
Mm-hmm.
but also work like they are going to go your way, and both great athletes. Been able to meet JT and follow him on Instagram. He came to the camp last year and helped out, and so I was
Mm-hmm.
really appreciative of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, before I actually met him, I was able to go back to LSU and talk to the coaches, and they was raving about him. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, when you get to that, it's like it's not guaranteed that you get to LSU and start. It's not
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed that you play. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not saying that you won't either. But with the way that the world, like college sports is today, got transfer portal and things like that, which
Mm-hmm.
wasn't around when I was there. But I think one of the things that's missing because of that is that determination and that loyalty. I'm not necessarily saying be loyal to a school or a program, but loyal to yourself to not give up and not quit. So that's what I would tell them. Like, maximize it. That's kind of what I've been saying over and over. But when
Mm-hmm.
you get there, enjoy yourself for sure. It's a college experience. Enjoy yourself,
Right.
but also know that nothing's guaranteed. But as long as you keep doing what got you there, being the person that got you there, stay true to what's true to you, you'll be fine.
Cool. Cool.
Talent not the issue at all. So it's going to be much more than talent.
Right. Right. Deidra, what's your message to the parents and families who might still be on the fence about participating in the health and human services portion of the football camp?
I would start by saying the camp is for everyone. I did have a few people reach out asking if it was for girls, and it is for girls. So we had a good group of girls last year, and we had girls winning trophies last year too. They got some skilled girls out there, so watch out, guys. But everybody, it's gonna be more of a family event this year. Reaching out into the community. Another thing that I would say is a reason to be there is because there are many children in the world who don't get certain opportunities. And I always say, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know. You may come out there and meet your best friend. You may come out there and learn something that you would have never known if you would have just showed up. Take every opportunity that's given as an opportunity to be the best you and a better you. And that's what we're going to be doing. DJ got 2 kids. I have 1 kid. And I always say having 1 child is like leaving room for so many others. So I'm always loving on kids, and I'm always nurturing kids, and it's just a passion for me. And so it doesn't hurt to have another person loving on your kids. Being able to pour some positivity into them and speak to them and encourage them. And one of the things that we talked about earlier is, being in survival mode, and everybody, I always hear like negative comments about Alexandria all the time. I hear it all the time. And, there may be some areas where things are happening, but as a whole, there have been some really great people come from Alexandria.
That's a
And
very
to
true
have
statement.
a lot of those people who are still there, and a lot of us who are able to come back and pour into and uplift. I mean, let's just be a part of the cause at this point. Like you know, let's stand up for something that we all believe in, which is our youth, because to be honest, they are the next generation. They're going to be the ones taking over all the stuff that, we are doing now. Being able to come out and get those resources. There's going to be resources there that you didn't even know existed there. When I started learning about the resources, I was like, wait a minute, that's a thing? We even have a company coming out that helps provide free legal services to families who need legal support. That's not something that I probably would think of at the top of my head, but there are families who need legal support.
That's right.
And if we're able to bring those things to you, the only thing that's missing is for you to come and get it.
Right.
We talk about God, we talk about the Bible, we got to take that first step for God to take 2. Like we gotta put 1 step forward. So, you don't have anything to lose at this camp. It's really all to gain at this point. And I'm just proud that, DJ has mentioned that this is what he wants to do. Cause as I'm starting to plan, I'm like, oh, okay. But once he gave us the green light and was like, this is where I want the focus to be, it kind of just ran. And with the support of Caring Choices, like this has become something that we'll probably talk about from years from now. And we will have a deadline though, just because all the campers do get free shirts when they come, and we do have to place the order in. So the deadline will probably be around June 10th. It is open right now.
Right.
For people to sign up, their girls and their boys. The deadline will probably be June 10th, just so that we can get those shirts ordered and processed. Even if you don't sign up, you can still come, but there's no guarantee that, the supplies and things that are there that we'll still have them. But whatever we do have, it'll go out to all the kids. One of the other things is with the parents, we'll have an area again for them to go to, and we are giving out raffles for those parents who are coming, so that we can appreciate them too and love on them. So overall, I think that being on the fence, you need to be over the fence at this point. Just jump on over there. You never know what you're going to take away from from this camp. I don't even know what all you're going to take away, because I was just blown away at the amount of resources, and to have 25 vendors who have already said we will be there, and even the free physicals. Like,
no, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm just blown away by the community support in Alexandria. I'm blown away. So shout out to the city of Alexandria for really showing up and helping us show out with this camp.
I would also like to add two things. One, you know, if you do come and say you go through all the vendors and things and you don't like anything, like it doesn't hurt at all to like just take your pamphlet or whatever you received and you go home and you discard of it. You don't ever look at it again. Like, it was free, you know, it was a good opportunity. But also, I haven't checked with my executive director yet about this. But you know, it's a camp for kids. But like, if you're watching this and you're like, man, I don't have any kids, but I really do need that support, then venture out. You know, can't promise you a T-shirt or something like that, but you know, I want people to, you know, receive the help, receive that what they can get, because you know a lot of these companies and vendors are out in Alexandria or surrounding areas, and you'll never hear about them if you know you don't do the research or something like that. So if you get the opportunity and you just like, okay, some of these things might actually help me and better me, then it's a good opportunity to, you know, maybe I have to confirm that with Miss Deidra over here. I don't know.
No, absolutely. It's for the community. That is what it's for. And as you're talking, I'm thinking about the children and the portion that we're going to do, you know, before the camp. We're, like I said, we're going to have a crisis management team there. We're going to have people who can help you with on the spot with certain things. And a lot of us, you know, mental health has been really big, and it's been in the spotlight, especially with our young people, with mothers of children, with athletes, with everybody. And mental health has been in the news. That's all we see every single day. There's something happening, whether it's suicide, whether it's murder, whether it's, you know, breaking points and all of this stuff. And so sometimes we always think, you know, our kids wouldn't do it, because I know my kid and I talk to my kid and my kid this, but we're going to have counselors there as well. So if something is said that sparks a conversation, or a kid feels compelled to speak up and say something, we can get them right to a counselor who can help get them to a place in that moment to refocus. But they also can schedule sessions for those children and those families to have. And we've even offered to pay for some of those sessions if there's someone who don't have resources. But there are going to be companies there that provide them for, you know, they have the resources to get you what you need. So I just think at this point, there's nothing left to be on the fence about. Come out, have a good time, and really take in what the city of Alexandria has to offer, the good things that we have to offer the community.
Well, you know, one of the things that, you know, an observation that I'll make on it, we do have a lot of those resources here within the community, but it was good that you guys had the vision to say, hey, I need to put this on blast. I need to make sure the public really knows that these resources are out here and available. And I know a lot of times I'll put information on national numbers because, you know, we just don't see the information flowing in on the mediums that it need to be flowing on to get to the people that can really consume the product. So, you know, again, I was, you know, it's been a good month for me having the opportunity to speak to multiple folk in the profession, you know, of human services and all that kind of good stuff, just to get the information out. And it's kind of interesting, you know, after a conversation like this with you guys, we'll get those calls and say, now, exactly what do I need to do? You know, I might need it now. So y'all just don't know how glad I am to see that y'all are addressing something and bringing light to something that, you know, we've had the resources there. People just did not know that they were there. You know what I mean? And so,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And one last thing, and I know I'm opening myself up at this point, but if someone is listening to this or hear about it and they do need help now,
Mm-hmm.
even they can reach out to you guys at UrbanCast,
Mm-hmm.
and that will come to me and I will help. They
Mm-hmm.
can inbox me. I'm not very good at checking my messages, but I'm gonna make it a point to check my messages because I want to be a resource to help. Like if you send me a message and say, "Hey, I need support with X," I will do everything in my power to connect you with the place that can provide that support, to you. So if you are afraid to kind of publicly say it,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? You can privately say it to me, and it's confidential. I won't say anything. I'll get you what you need. There's no judgment, zone over here.
Yeah. All I can say is, hey, y'all keep on doing what you're doing. We're going to definitely, try to echo what's actually, what's going on. And Deidra, as we had, planned to do, we're going to be reaching out to those organizations on that chart that you guys shared with us, and and to help promote the camp itself this year, we'll be talking to some of those vendors who are going to be there on that Friday. So hopefully people will begin to see, hey, we do have these resources right here in Alexandria, and we can go go consume them if we need them. You know what I mean? It's much better to know that the resource is there and not need them than to need them and not know that they're right up under your fingertips. Before we get out of here, was it anything else, Deidra, DJ, that you guys needed to say or anything like that?
I don't think so. I think that was great actually.
Okay.
Whoever's listening, pull up. You
Pull
ain't
up.
doing nothing, pull up.
Please sign up. June
Yeah,
10th.
sign up first.
June 10th is our deadline. We are not turning people away though.
Mhm.
If you are a person who just wants to be involved, we do have a short list of volunteers that we are accepting more volunteers. If you hear this message and you want to be a vendor, please reach out as well. I'll be more than happy to assist you becoming a vendor. Um, Whatever your needs or thoughts are, don't hesitate to reach out to either UrbanCast or myself, and we'll kind of navigate, from there.
Okay. When before I'm getting ready to close out, and I want to say this. This isn't just a camp, in my opinion. It's a statement that our youth matter, mental health matters, and that giving back is a powerful, powerful tool. UrbanCast family, the DJ football camp and health fair happens June the 27th over at Ash. Registration is open now for the event, and you guys are definitely encouraging everyone. And we'll put a link on each one of the broadcasts that we do, so that folk can get out there and go ahead and register their kids. Because worst thing you do is to say, hey, you get there and you don't have that T-shirt for that child.
Right.
So it's really important to go out there and register. DJ, where should people? Well, I guess you can say we'll put a link for sure on this post. Also, I think on all of the previous posts that we have, you can go click on one of those and get out there. Go register.
You can go to my page, DJ page, UrbanCast. Also has a link for you to register. And I did get some inquiries about people wanting to. So we do have a couple of sponsors who've reached out and said, hey, we're going to help sponsor some of this stuff that you guys are doing. And some people have asked us about they don't have money to be a sponsor, but I want to be a part. So we've decided to do a link for shirts. So if you are an adult and you want to purchase you a shirt to wear out there or whatever the case may be, we will have a link that we'll put up, and the proceeds from the shirt goes back into the foundation to support and provide more school supplies, more backpacks, more scholarships, and more resources. So all the money that's brought into the organization goes back out into the community.
Well, I definitely want to thank our listeners out there, our supporters. Sadler's a big time Ash supporter. Long's Products, and Legendary Kung Fu and Tai Chi. And I also want to thank our class of 2025 sponsors, Attorney Tiffany Sanders, Sadler's Tour, and District Attorney Philip Terrell. All I can say, guys, is, I really encourage everyone, if you're planning on attending this event, go ahead and register early. Go ahead and do it now. Let's push this message across, make sure everyone know about it. So hit that like button, hit that share button, and all that kind of good stuff. And that's pretty much all I have to say tonight. This has been a good conversation, DJ, bro. I really appreciate, again, I truly appreciate you guys having the vision to say, hey, we need to talk about mental health in our community.
For sure. Appreciate
Thank
you
for having us.
You guys are welcome as usual. Let me just make sure before I get out of here. All right. You got all good comments. Nobody asked any questions, but they did say you guys did a great job. So if you can just hang tight, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Good night, everybody.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.